Today's weather update video, we're going to be talking about the chance of severe weather happening across the central to northern plains over the next day or so. We're also going to be talking about the tropics, as the Pacific and the Atlantic are warming up to have some potentially new tropical storms to even hurricanes forming. And we're going to be talking about our first snowfall that's going to be happening across the Rocky Mountains. We have a slight risk of severe weather, mainly across southeastern Wyoming, western Nebraska, and kind of northeastern Colorado. Mainly for areas around the Cheyenne, Wyoming area, is mainly going to be impacted. So about 250,000 people are going to be impacted by this. And then we do have a mortar risk that extends up anywhere from Canada down to Wyoming and Colorado, and as well as western Nebraska. This also will be going through central South Dakota, eastern North Dakota, and a little bit of northwestern Minnesota. And our biggest risk is going to be the wind risk, which we do have a 15% chance of. And again, our pre-existing slight risk area, so areas around Cheyenne, Wyoming, as well as extreme western Nebraska and northeastern Colorado will be in that 15% chance. That 5% chance will still extend down anywhere from Canada all the way down to Colorado, Wyoming, and western Nebraska. Then for the hail risk, we have just a 5% chance of that, again, extend anywhere from Cheyenne, Wyoming to maybe some areas outside of Denver, all the way up to Manitoba and Ontario, Canada. And we do not have a tornado risk for today at all. Day 2, we have a very small marginal risk, mainly for areas in central Kansas as well as a little bit of south central Nebraska, which our biggest risk is going to be the wind risk with a 5% chance in the pre-existing marginal area. And we also have a hail risk that's literally in the same place as the wind risk. Then we do not have any tornado risk whatsoever on day 2. Day 3, we are not going to have anything. What is going on? We're not going to have anything for day 3 whatsoever. It's just going to be a general area. However, somewhere, especially in the plains, we could always have something form as over the next day or two. Now, looking over the 15Z composite reflectivity, so the future radar that comes from 11 a.m. Local time this morning, shows currently right now that we have quite a bit of activity going on here, and especially in the Rockies, around Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana. Some of these areas are going to be a bunch of heavy rain. However, areas in the mountains could actually experience heavy snow, anywhere to, up to a foot of snow, maybe even up to 2 feet of snow in some possible places. However, really, we got to watch for our main area, which is along here, that, will be impacting our northern plains states and as well as our Rocky states and maybe a little bit of our Great Plains states. As we kind of move throughout the evening, though, especially areas in Wyoming, we're going to have lots of heavy rain move through here. And the mountains are going to experience lots of heavy snow from this moving forward. As we kind of approach evening, so around, 9 to 11 p.m., those storms will start to move through the Dakotas and as well as Nebraska. Kind of when we move past midnight, North Dakota and South Dakota will really be impacted by this. Remember, it's just going to be like very few, maybe like damaging winds here and there, or isolated big hail here or there that's going to happen. Tornadoes are not going to be expected, but again, that doesn't always mean, one just can't form out of the middle of nowhere. It has happened before, and there's certainly a chance that can happen. And then really after midnight, this kind of turns into an excessive rainfall threat, which we're not going to have much of because currently our experience a drought, across the northern plains itself. I am just going to say real quickly, I'm not going to be going over the excessive rainfall because if we look throughout the past next 3 days, there isn't going to be any slight chance. There's going to be that mortar risk where it's at least a 5% chance. So not much flooding is going to be expected. If there were to be flooding, it'd be like, mostly to an inch or two in most places, across the United States with this. Or places that really need the rainfall that could be experiencing a lot of rain. Now, next week, talk about the tropics, where it is a big deal, especially in October. We are nearing the end of the hurricane season, as November, I believe, is the end of the hurricane season. And currently, right now, over the Atlantic, if we look at the main development region satellite, currently we have this, I believe it is a 50% chance that is going over the Atlantic currently right now. So it basically has a 15% chance of forming over the next week. That again is kind of going to be heading towards the U.S. Now, we have a lot of hurricanes and tropical storms that have formed over here. A lot of them have made a very sharp curve and gone actually past the United States, especially with Humberto, which is the second hurricane to reach Category 5 status while being off the shores of Carolina, like right between Carolina and Bermuda. And as of right now, we don't have much formed over. I mean, we do have some moisture kind of up in the clouds over here, which could be part of the development of the potential tropical storm to even, maybe AL or Invest L something number will be forming here in the next possible upcoming week. Over here in the Pacific, it gets a little bit more interesting. I actually don't know. This is kind of, if I look at the mesoscale too, currently we do have a disturbance EP99 that has a very high chance of turning into a tropical storm right off the coast of Mexico. We also do have a tropical storm, Okatave or something like that. That has also formed as well. It doesn't not much coverage, but we can see that it is definitely spinning across there. Expected to most likely get close to our other hurricane or tropical storm that could be eventually forming. A bound to kind of hit it, but it'll probably dissipate most likely. And then over here, right outside, the coast of Mexico and the coast of Guatemala, we also do have another area. Currently, a lot of moisture around here, which will definitely help the development of a new tropical storm to even maybe a hurricane. Okay, so the outlooks. If we talk about snowfall right now, we can see that over here in weather-wise, we actually have this thing where snowfall above 4, 8, or 12 inches possible. And we can see that it's really the mountains, the Rocky Mountains, really in between from Wyoming, down to Colorado, through Montana, all the way up to Alberta, Canada. Will kind of be in this. The highest amount of snow is probably be expected near our concurrent winter storm warning areas, which I could pop up the warnings here. And we could see that, especially where any of these pink boxes are, is our winter storm warnings there. That's the highest chance that we'll see above that 4 inches definitely happening as well. And then we could also look at, above 8 inches. We can see that over here it's at the moderate chance of getting above 8 inches. Most areas are at a low chance. And then we go to about a foot or over where we actually don't have anything whatsoever, despite I do believe this warning being near 10 to 20 inches of snow expected. So, that could always be a difference that could be made. If we do look at the overall impact, we may have some areas that are going to be up to a minor chance. It says the highest on here is a moderate. Okay, up here in northern Montana, some areas could be up to that minor to even moderate too. I could see the chance that they could expand this into a moderate as well, as this is under a winter storm warning as well. And then most other Rocky Mountain areas are going to be in the minor to just winter weather area. And then real quickly, I'm going to talk over temperature and precipitation in the next couple days or so. So currently, most of the United States is going to be above average for at least the rest of the week. Except the West Coast could be a little bit below average, and as well as a little bit of the Northeast could be near normal average for temperatures. The 8 to 14 day thing suggests very similar things to happen. West Coast is probably going to be near normal to below average for those cooler temperatures, and then the rest of the country is going to be above average. Then for precipitation, could be suggesting that areas along the west coast and as well as the plains are going to be above average for precipitation, maybe the very southeast as well. And then areas maybe, along the Appalachians, northeast Great Lakes, down to the southern plains and Ozarks, especially around the Ozarks, are going to be below precipitation. For at least, and this is also for the 6 to 10 days and 8 to 14 days. And that's all I have for the weather update forecast for at least today, October 4th. So if you guys like to see another video, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Sorry I couldn't make any videos last week. It got so boring that there's literally nothing happening. I know there were some tropical storms, like especially Humberto, forming over the Atlantic. So if you guys like to see some type of hurricane update, maybe in the future, maybe suggest that in the comments or something else. And I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.